think we're good. Let me double check. Make sure Twitch says I'm live. Yep, says I'm live. Alrighty. We're good. Hi everyone. Sorry for the 7-minute delay. My computer decided to update as I was getting ready. And ice cream. That kind of prevented me from getting here as quick as possible. But happy to be here, and hopefully we can get some people in. Keep the conversation going back and forth again. I hope everyone's doing well. Looking good. This. That looks good. That looks good. You can see the chat room, so we're good there. And all set. Tacky as that is, I want to move that ever so slightly. Is that better? Oh, I don't like that glare. You're moving any further. Is there hope? Massive cat scratch. Is that better? Can we see it? Can we read it? I think we're good there. Me just casually adjusting stuff as after the stream has already begun. 2 people hopped in. Hello, welcome. Good for you to see me. I can't see you, but thank you for joining. Once again, I forgot. Wait, no, hold on. Searching. Eventually. And what am I? Merchandising. My novel, Before the Shadows, just gonna drop that every single stream. Psychological suspense follows an officer after an accident as he attempts to figure out what was the cause of the initial disturbance that he was called to, what caused his absence, and follows him as someone or something begins to try to keep him from finding out secrets of young victim Emily Moore. If you're into psychological suspense, I recommend giving it a shot. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased, but I do think it's a decent story. Go ahead and give it a read. Hello, Hidden Tangerine. Good to see you. But let us get back into this. I'm already 10 minutes behind, so we're gonna get moving. Iced tea today, no hot tea. And this one is peach. Okay, so everything looks good. We're moving right along. And for anyone that was tuning in the last few sessions, I was saying how I had a general idea of where the story was going, didn't know exactly where it would be, but today I actually came up with the ending, so we might be writing that today. We'll see how I'm feeling. But yeah, very happy with how things have kind of come along so far. Again, if you're just tuning in, if this is your first stream, it is going to be a short story. It is going to be a suspense story. We already have the first, I think it was 6 pages. We just hit 6. Was that it? Now I had information on the 6th page, but I didn't quite hit that. That's okay, we'll hop into it again. As always, I'm just going to do a quick read through just to see what I have and where I left off. And again, if this is your first time tuning in for this, the short story follows Mr. Larry Diego, right there. Uh-oh, what did I click? What did I click? None. Good, yes. Mr. Larry Diego, right after purchasing a cabin up in the hills of an unnamed mountain, and from there he is attempting to fix it up. He's a bit of a handyman, and we're just getting to know Larry as obviously the story's developing, but he has had his first interaction with his neighbors, the Howes, and is kind of just evaluating the cabin as it stands to see what he has to do. He also met, obviously, the realtor that he's getting the house from, and the male person. Did I name him yet? Yes, Gregory. No last name, but I have him here. Where are you, Mr. Gregory? Wait, what? Yes, Gregory Landon, for what it's worth. And we have a couple other characters that have been introduced, so now we're just casually carrying along. Feel free to drop in the chat what you're working on, what your project is, what your art medium is, or whatever you're doing. If you're just washing the dishes and you're tuning in, welcome. Glad to have you here. Hop in the chat and have a conversation. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm no expert in anything, but I'll happily give you a little bit of advice if I have any. Let's see. That's right, we ended with the quick back and forth between Mr. Howe. Was that what I wrote? Derek Howe? Yes, Derek and Mary Howe. And this is the first draft. I'm still writing it, so we're not quite in the polished up state, but I try to give a good enough idea of where we're headed. And then I'll go in and fill out other things. And anything that's highlighted is just something that I want to come back to and edit as I'm going along. Because I don't want to stop and edit every single thing, so it's just going to be those highlighted portions. Okay, and that was just a note for me. Okay, so we ended with the dialogue between him and his neighbor. Is the video buffering? No, the video's not buffering, to my knowledge. Thank you, Twitch. Nah. Today is the 20th. Happy first day of spring. At least if you live in the United States, Canada, or Mexico. I believe at least the three of us consider that spring. And I'm sorry, I've still not changed the name of the story. I think I'll do that at the end of the session. I'll change it so that way next time it'll be updated. Because Cabin Story is just annoying me to see that. You don't see that at least. And my cat is trying to gain entry. But she will not. I don't know if you can see in the background a little bit of yarn and cord art projects in progress. But with things measured out, I didn't want to have anything moved. So my cat is not allowed inside. Either of my cats aren't allowed inside the room. So no kitties this stream. I think I need to... Yep, and there are cats. I should probably change that before somebody expects cats. No, can I not edit? No, kitty. Edit stream info. There we are. And done. No cats this time. That way it still says cats, so people searching for cats will find my video. That's cheap, but unfortunately that's how all advertising goes. Conversation was moving back to work, but I don't remember where I was going with that. It's already stepped close to the mailbox. Still standing there. Larry. Last time, who was it? Subscriber Dark helped me to kind of flush out a little bit of what was happening in this little patch of sentences here. He's not here today, or she, I still haven't found out, but hopefully they pop back in. Fix that, alright. So, skipping that segment. I already know I'm not going to do anything there. We're just going to jump into him calling it a night. Tool belt, is it one word, is it two? I believe one word is appropriate. We'll come back to it. not still. Semicolon, yes. I'm sorry, Word document. Please forgive me. No. Nope, I did use it. Only 10 words prior. Toward the kitchen. Because he isn't there when he gets there. It's 2, so yeah. Weird thing about the English language is just something so simple as 2 words that have a very similar meaning. So toward and to completely change this sentence. Or at least that's the way I see it. So, and yes, I'm sorry, I'll add the hyphen. Thank you, Word. He followed the scuffed up route to the freezer. That is, it leads him directly to it, and that is the end goal, is where he ends up. That is what that little word will do to the sentence. If I use toward, he followed the scuffed up route toward the freezer. He hasn't actually reached his point when we hit the, I believe and is a conjunction, if I remember that correctly from grade school. His destination still isn't met. It's inferred that he gets there, and that's what he's digging through for the prepared meals. But using to means that he is going from a spot and arriving at the other one. So if that makes a little bit of sense. And it's just something as simple as that that can easily confuse readers, especially if English isn't their first language and they're reading something like this. That's another thing that I find whenever I'm reading something, if they use an incorrect word, not they use the wrong there, for instance. That doesn't bother me, mainly because I almost never see that in published works, but something as simple as to or toward will annoy me. If somebody puts in TWO, that's just used a completely wrong word. It happens. Or the freezer is too cold, TOO. Something like that, again, doesn't bother me as much as simple wordplay where it means almost the exact same thing. There's just a slight difference. That's something that bugs me out every time I see that. But maybe that's just me. If you're in the chat, feel free to leave. Actually, that's a very niche thing to even ask to come up with. I'm not going to say that. But what I will say is I'd like to know what you read. What are your interests? Do you like science fiction? Do you like romance? Do you like horror? Do you like historical? Are you a fact or a fiction person? Non-fiction is a huge part of most everyone's lives. If you're reading something in terms of just getting history, I believe news articles of any kind, especially the newspaper, considered non-fiction. But yeah, tell me what you like to read in the chat. Interested to know. did mention it. Lasagna. Here's my inability to spell simple words. CE. Okay. Gotta reread that one. I'm drawn to suspense and fantasy with good character development. I'm on the same boat, Hidden Tangerine. Um, Good character development is crucial to even caring slightly for your characters. If you have characters that are two-dimensional, that don't have realistic qualities, or that don't change in some way throughout your story, you're left with a very boring read. The most amazing things can be happening around the characters, but if they're monotone, they don't have any kind of drive, there's no action or even a form of drama to push them forward or to make them grow, you get a boring story. Um, so I'm definitely there with you on that. Suspense and fantasy. I do enjoy suspense for good reason. However, fantasy is just something I'm getting into. I haven't always enjoyed it. People love The Lord of the Rings. I have never read the books. I read part of The Hobbit and I put it down. Maybe at the period I just wasn't interested, but I'm getting more into fantasy myself. Um, but yeah, that's cool to hear. I don't want you to know. Not beside, but between. said the building was small, but I never really said how small. I want it to be quaint. I want it to be cozy. I don't want it to be too large. This is a cabin that maybe somebody would use for a type of outing. Perhaps they were doing a form of camping. Perhaps this is a getaway home, just somewhere to go while hunting. I never specified how large, but I think I want this to be no more than 4 rooms. Tiny bathroom. Kitchen, bedroom, and living/dining room. So where he is in relation. Back end of the house is going to be the kitchen. You wouldn't really have the kitchen be at the front door. That would make dropping off groceries a hell of a lot easier. It's going to be how many steps? Bathroom at the back corner of the house, bedroom to the left of that, and then it's a very thick room with a small alcove that kind of just leaves like a little bit of space, maybe for a bookshelf there. Cozy chair beside a window, but the rest of it is that open space used for the kitchen. That's going to be the living room and dining room, taking up the majority of that space. Is it a square or is it a rectangle? No, it's a square to maximize the amount of space. Okay, so, my mind. The way that I see this is very straightforward in that, that'll work. Cabin, this is the entire building. Exactly how you see it. You're going to have your door coming right here. Maybe we'll have a back door right here. I'm still wondering if you should have 2 doors, but if he's got a backyard, I'd imagine he deserves one. This space is going to be covering, let's take a little bit less than that. I imagine that's going to be the bedroom and the bathroom down here on the bottom for right there. With that, you're going to have maybe the kitchen right here. Maybe this is like the sink. You got the refrigerator over here, and then you've got stove, kitchenette, you got the access, if I'm reversing the whole setup. I can kind of see that looking like, he's not a particularly tall man, so his stride's not that large. He's stepping out. Three-foot stride. So every step he takes, he advances about 3 feet. This is the kind of stuff that goes through someone's head when they're writing, at least for me. I can't say the same thing for any successful authors or less successful authors. I don't know where people's minds really go when they're writing, but I'm always looking at the tiny things. That's why writing takes me so long, but I want to make sure that when I write, it's visualized and it makes sense. So if I'm saying there's 2 doors, there's not suddenly a third one. Or if there's only 2 doors in this small cabin, as I kind of just displayed there, there shouldn't be 10 windows. It wouldn't make any logical sense. You'd have a window, the tiniest gap, and then another window, and the windows are going to be slim. So if I'm saying 10 windows, then there's got to be a good reason. Maybe one's in the door in the front, one's in the back. I'm counting those. The bathroom has 2 tiny little circle holes, something like that for ventilation, and that's it. But I don't know. I'm not seeing the full length of the cabin here. 10 steps? 30 feet? Gets from one end to the other? This room is about 16 feet if I remember correctly. It's 14 feet. Double this. 30. Mm. It's gonna be Front Porch or is it Sunroom? What's the next musical in the name? Pornhub. You can see through the dingy curtains that no one stood on his porch. I don't think I need to put in wooden because it's an old cabin. I think you'll just imagine that that's not going to be any other material. Or at least I wouldn't think it's any other material. Free layers. Expect onto the civil firm surface. What did you, Doug? Another thing that I don't like in language, which I don't know if it's solely the English language, but I imagine it's any other language. Those that use hyphens to put together two words, screened in, mucked up, scuffed up, anything like that, son-in-law, anything like that. Like there's some that I think is just universally accepted, like son-in-law is just that combined word with those hyphens breaking it up, so it's not just one lob of a word. But there's certain things like scuffed up, screened in, that naturally will have that hyphen there, but it doesn't always. And I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me in like all the descriptions I've seen of how that actually works. And here I am, doesn't matter what I'm writing. It never acknowledges mucked up as a word that has to be put together with the hyphen. It just says it's fine. But like, I don't get it. How's that one different from screened in? I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe Word just doesn't know how to process it. But just to me, that seems a little odd. Source material. Synonym for bulky, please. I don't know kind of where it's going to go. Bulky, hulking, large, burly, but they're not what I'm looking for. Bulk, I think that's what I'm looking for. See large. If anybody has a good synonym for bulking, or bulky, go ahead and throw that in the chat. See if you can come up with one quicker than I can, though I'm sure you will. What about hefty? Thank you, Merriam-Webster and your Thorith, for all of your assistance. And anyone tuning in, the small carpet I have on display, which previously in the last 3 sessions was in the back, leaning up against the bed, was a local artist from Scranton, Pennsylvania, that was kind enough to create that for me for a very modest price. I was very happy with it. And it's got great detail. I mean, like, come on. Come on, look at that. Does that come through? Oh, the delay, the lag. I'm so sorry. Hey, there you go. Very well done. I'm very proud of it. Tangerine, hello. What did you write? I can't see it. Hold on. Hefty. There you go. Came up with the same word there. You off the dome, me with assistance from the written word. Thank you. Before the thought could be finished, another knock trembled the surface. Where are we? Let's change it up slightly. Frame. mention that earlier. Maybe before house shows up. This is where he goes straight into it. That was completed. And this, to get back to the motel. Done, move on, that's where we are there. I never mentioned that. Is briefest a word? Should be most brief. Yes, it is. It's considered a word. It does not at all sound like a real word, but we'll use that and move on. For now, I'm not a fan of it. Unless Larry went straight to work, taking only the briefest of pre's. It's going back into present tense. I'll come back to that. But I need that to justify this. What did I call it? Did I say it was a porch? Did I say it was part of the porch? Yes, I called it front porch. So, you're supposed to be porch. Delete that. Pull out his bandana, fasten the door to the nearest post. Nearest exposed post on the front porch. Might fix that. Hello to anyone that's new jumping into the chat. Jumping into the stream. Good to have you. Please go ahead and feel free to put down whatever it is you're working on, whatever art projects, chores. If you're watching something other than me, feel free to put it into the comments. Curious to see what everyone's doing. Obviously, I'm writing. For anyone that's new, we're working on a short story, working on it every single Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's US East Coast. And it is a suspense story. Like that. for now. And that's where this part comes in. I believe ladybugs are good luck, or so people say. Glad to have that visitor. So, there may not be cats this stream, but there's a ladybug. That'll probably fly by my head like it did last time. Just say I wanted. We have 4 viewers of the stream. Welcome, anyone, everyone. I can't remember if I mentioned the sunset before. Would have only been 2 spots. And goodbye to number 4. Does not mention the sunset. Does not do that beforehand. Does not mention it here. If they sit behind the mountains, the 2 minutes think about. Okay, so no, I didn't mention it earlier on. So there's behind the mountains. Okay. I know I didn't know how to spell cumulonimbus clouds. I did have to search that. It is not one of the many words I keep in my head at any given time. So that's gone. Sunrise by the mountains into the encompassing cumulus clouds. Ah, here we go again with another English pronunciation or spelling. Is it EY or AY? How do us Americans spell it? AY American. GRAY American. GREY English for the Brits. Okay, that's how I can remember that. So I don't forget, switch that back to AY. Certain sounds, hands returned to their respective pockets. Certain sounds, hilarious studies the environment. It includes paid promotion, yes, thank you. Because if I had forgotten, Twitch, to mention my book, which is in 2 different locations, that would have just been a shame. What paid promotion? I don't have paid promotion mentioned on there. I don't know if you guys can see that when it pops up, but on my screen it just comes up a very small thing, only about like right here on the screen, that says video includes paid promotion. Strange. His environment for the first time since he scoped out the cabin. Sun had rested behind the mountains. That should be there, and that should be there. It's completing the same thought. And this is a new thought. It's now describing something else, so it's a new paragraph entirely. The sun rests behind the mountains and tinted the encompassing cumulonimbus clouds, shades of lavender and gray. So, because then he'd enter in through the house, which is facing the mountains. Go straight to the back, so even this part, he wouldn't be able to see that unless he came out here. I don't know if I like that. Going out, no, I can't have that. Because then he'd just be returning. It's like, why do you walk forward, come back, walk back out? It might be a nice view, but I don't think you'd do that if the winds are that cold. Cold enough so that you're shoving your hands right back into your pockets as soon as you're done doing whatever it is you're doing. You're not gonna sit there and kind of hang out. Like, you're not pulling up a folding chair, whatever chair you might have, a deck chair, awning, and just sit out in the cold. He wouldn't really do that. Especially because he doesn't even have his hot meal yet, so no, that's not gonna be there. Maybe in a different section he'll come back out? I don't know. specify the season that we're in? I don't think I did. And there. I mentioned winter. Where was winter? Oh, it was right there to begin with. I just need to scroll up. Coming winter months. So we can say he's late summer or he's in the autumn. And that describes it just fine. But I need to add one or two details up here to tie that all together and not just be, okay, it's close to winter. Move on. Can't do that. Warm tones fill the air around the quiet property. It's referring to the sky and the sun. Moving on. Pigeon play, look up rest of this side of things. Trees. Trampled. Trampled. Paused. Its eyes fixed on the realtor and Larry. A yard. A yard makes it only sound like it's 3 feet. So that's not good. Backyard. Away. Only a backyard away. That sounds a little bit better. It sounds fitting. Can I add a quirk to Larry? I want to make him afraid of dogs. Doesn't like dogs. Right there. That's what prevents him from going over to see the neighbors. Okay, that's a genuine reason for him not to go over and meet the people. Why didn't he do it? He has a reason. Gives him his last name. Doesn't give him his first name, or he gives him the first name, not the last name. So, why? Why is he a little sheltered in that? He doesn't like dogs. Why doesn't he like dogs? Something happened as a child, something happened as an adult. He never liked them. He lost a dog growing up. What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? What's wrong with him? Why doesn't he like dogs? Nothing's wrong with you if you don't like dogs, but what's wrong with his character development? What prevents him from meeting these people as somebody that doesn't like dogs? That's something that I always attempt to do. It may not always come through perfect, but one thing that I always grasp at is what makes the characters flaw or that certain trait that makes them them. Where did it come from? It's not necessarily the trait or how it affects the person in general. It's I want to find exactly what point this trait began. Um, so I create the character, I come up with this idea, it's a character flaw or something that's just a drive that they might have. I want to find out exactly where that came from because that develops the character. If I just said that Larry didn't like dogs, why? That's a huge glaring question that has to be answered, and even if somebody doesn't care enough, it might not make sense that he's not interacting with the neighbors. This gives him that why for the neighbor. But why doesn't he like the dog? They have a dog, doesn't like it, won't interact with him. That makes sense. But what is it about his character? We've already established that he's a bit burly, works with his hands, he's into construction, it's not difficult for him. He bought this cabin intending to fix it up, knew there were issues, only negotiated the roof. As he's finding other things, he's not bothered by them. He's known they weren't expressed, but he doesn't care. So then what is the dog to him? That's right there. But this, he's stressing and saying it a different way. Said. I don't like said. Not in this context, at least. So, he declared bluntly. Now, do I need bluntly at the end of that, or is that not a necessary dialogue tag? For that to be an adjective, and that's... If you declare something, you're already being blunt about it. It's out in the open, it's there. So no, I don't need that, because it would just be redundant. So there we go. Why doesn't he like dogs? For anyone in the chat, are you a dog person, a cat person, a pigeon? Do you like rodents? Are you a reptilian person? Not that you're a reptilian, I hope not. Tell me what kind of animals you like. Or if you have pets of any kind, let me know. I myself have cats, and it never struck me as being a cat person, but then that's just kind of how everything lined up, and I would not trade them for the world. They are fluffy, adorable little monsters, and I love them. I think they love me. Time will tell. But yeah, what are your pets? What kind of animals do you like? Let me know in the chat, please. I'm interested to know. If I knew how to make polls, I don't even know if I can on Twitch. Bit of a good idea. There's that. I ask to learn more about the chat, and the chat disappears. I don't like that list. Love all the animals, dogs, cats, woodland critters. Well, that sounds wonderful, Hidden Tangerine. Do you also accept furry trash pandas? I think they're absolutely adorable, but I think cats are a little crazy. I don't know if I'd welcome a raccoon into my home. But they are fluffy. They got little thumbs. Of course. Yes, let us welcome the raccoons. You didn't choose to be elected too. It's a stronger word. Raccoons are always welcome. I still have to figure out how that portion ends and leads into this. Main door. Oh no, I deleted the space. B. And then we're here. I say cluttered. I don't like the word cluttered there because it sounds like I'm not appreciating the trees. Those stretched outward into distance. And the sun had rested behind the mountains and tinted the encompassing cumulonimbus clouds shades of lavender and gray, while the sky itself held deep blue and violet hues. The hills that stretched outward into the distance became inundated with trees, and various unknown shrubberies as they reached the mountain's base. Base of the mountains. Write all that stuff, and then I'm just erasing more, and I really haven't made any progress with that. But at least I'm cleaning it up, and I know I've reached page 8 for the total document. I'm gonna do a little bit more. We're only at an hour and 18 minutes, so I will keep the stream going just a little bit longer, just to hit the 1 hour and 30-minute mark. So this one's not shorter. I think I have a little bit more to add here. building in general. Nothing that actually promotes the story. Why did I scribe it? That was it, yeah. So it means I made it to the bottom of page 5 with actual text. And then I have notes that can expand upon that. I don't know, like I want to jump into the ending, but I still want to build up a little bit more before I get there. I think what I'm going to do is I'll save writing the end of the story until the next time I stream. And when that happens, I'll then cover that portion. I think it's going to be a hefty portion. I might write some notes down and just transfer them into the document near the bottom just so I have those. But I think, I don't know, it's been a quiet night. I think I'm just going to save it and call it there. I really only wrote one page and went back and edited a few small things. Took down a few notes. My actual physical note booklet. But yeah, I think I will call it just a few minutes early. If you enjoyed the stream, if you caught it, if you're watching it after the fact, I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time, even if you're only here for about a minute or two. Every minute helps. I'm just doing this just to help keep myself organized, to help keep my mind going, and keep on a steady schedule of I have to write this every single Thursday. And I'm sticking to it. I want to, and I want to see it all come to an end on stream. I want to do all the writing, the editing, proofreading. Yeah, that's my goal. I, again, don't know how long the entire thing is going to be. It is a short story, so it's not going to be terribly long. I can't see it being more than like... No, I'm not even going to make a guess, because I don't want to put a label on it. However long it goes is however long it's going to be, and I'm just offering everyone the opportunity every Thursday, 6 o'clock, to jump in and just work on art, work on projects, work on being creative, or just watch. Whatever you want to do, whatever you're interested in, just pop on in, and love to hear from you in the chats. Love to see what you're up to. Hopefully this is just a nice way to keep you on track as well, if that's what you're interested in, or at least provide a little bit of entertainment. Again, ask questions if you feel. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. And until then, where's the stream? Yeah, until then, take care. I'll see you next week, Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I hope you're all well. God bless and take care.